This is my iPhone 17 Pro and this is a Fold 8. It's been more than 200 hours I've been on this phone, and as an iPhone user for the past 2 months, cause I'm usually on my S26 Ultra, but as an iPhone user, I'm gonna show you what it's been like to go from this to this. But first of all, the real pain in my changing from iPhone to any non-Apple device is like not as easy as it used to be. I'm sure you guys are aware because in North America, iPhones do not come with SIM trays, which means that every time I change from an iPhone to any other phone, I need a damn SIM card. So I can swap my eSIM to this physical SIM, and it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, here's the truth between going from iOS to One UI, okay? From personal experience, I find that coming from iOS, well, you will notice that there is literally a setting for everything. One UI 9, which is the Android skin you will find on this phone, literally offers a setting that delivers a way better notification menu compared to iOS. That's just one example, right? This is a menu that groups your control center and notifications literally in one, unlike iOS. And also, unlike iOS, you probably want a Fold to be able to benefit from like multitasking, right? Duh. Well, this is where the Fold 8 really shines. You can open an app, slide from left to right with a custom good luck setting I've got. Choose what app you want to pair this with. You can slide up for the dock, or you can find the side panel. And the side panel, guys, is actually really cool because you can think of it as a drawer with your favorite apps. You can customize it the way you want it, but this is what makes multitasking even better. You have like the ability to open up to 3 apps on the main screen and a few pop-up apps if needed. What I'm trying to get at is that unlike iOS, Android is able to offer a proper file system. It's got a universal back button for literally everything, a way for you to treat this phone like a mini computer with the help of Samsung DeX, of course. You've got a proper clipboard history without the need of downloading any like third-party apps, and you do not lose AirDrop. Yes, One UI 9 offers AirDrop like natively, so you can transfer files from your MacBook, the iPhone, an iPad, a Mac, from, right, and to your Fold. So that's cool. This is what makes the Fold 8 deliver like such a complete different journey compared to what the iPhone 17 Pro can deliver. Because really, if you think about it, you would be holding a 201 gram phone, right? That's slightly lighter than iPhone. That's 9.7 millimeters thick, which makes it about a millimeter thicker than iPhone, with a 5.5 inch display delivering an aspect ratio of now 10:16, making this a bit more than 10 millimeters wider than iPhone to hold, and it's shorter. So at 4:3, when you like unfold it, it delivers a main screen of 7.6 inches. It's also like overall easier to fit in the pocket, right? In a bag, in your car actually fits like super well, and it's easy to type with, comfortable with one hand. This like passport shaped like phone makes everything a lot more enjoyable in my opinion, more specifically content, because if you think about it, this is like what you buy. If you really care about the content you're pretty much consuming all the time, right? This is like so good on a plane. Trust me, it like feels magical. It's honestly one of the best content consumption experiences I've had. It's almost, I don't know, it almost felt like my Z13 Flow. I don't know if you guys have watched that review, but in a much smaller form factor. It was actually really nice. The crease is actually barely noticeable. So I'm happy to say that it's not that noticeable, especially when it's turned on. I feel like the anti-reflective coat hides it a bit, but also shows it a bit more within certain angles. That coat though, if I recall well, it's brand new. There's less glare from windows and overhead lights. I do find that. There's better outdoor visibility, and black seems to look deeper because I'm seeing fewer reflections really. And when you're done consuming all this content, right, you can charge this at 45 watts instead of 40 like the iPhone. And this delivers a bigger battery at 4800 milliamp hours. I was really happy with it until recently because I did get around 6 hours of playback with about 25% of juice dissipating. I tested that, I was happy, but I recently did some more tests and I'm not quite happy. I'll talk about it in a minute. If you haven't tested it, you should also probably test the subscribe button.
Got him! Got him!
No, honestly, guys, thank you so much for supporting us and for watching our videos. I feel like I don't say it enough. By the way, since you've subscribed, well, here is how you can transfer your WhatsApp chats from iPhone to Android. If you need to do so, okay, just initiate the process within your settings on iPhone first. Then you log into Android with your phone number and it will ask you directly what you want to import and where you want to import it from. You then take your iPhone and you scan the QR code on the fold, and it may or may not fail the first time, but you can just like try it again. They'll communicate between each other, and depending on how much stuff you got going on, it takes a couple of minutes or so to transfer. But yeah, anyways, you're welcome. I feel like this information is hard to find because I couldn't find it anywhere. And every time I transfer from like WhatsApp iPhone to WhatsApp Android, it's a mess, but I think I've gotten down. You're welcome. There's been like lots of traveling I've been doing lately, Dallas, Spain, London, and I've realized something very important. I think like my brain is just completely full. Every day it's a reply to that email, call the contractor, don't forget that thumbnail, book the oil change. If I don't get it out of my head like immediately, it's like gone. That's why I basically run my entire life inside Notion, because the second I think of something, I write it down, otherwise I'll forget it. But lately I've been trying something different. Check this out, okay? This is Genspark SecondBrain Note. At first, I thought it was just like another AI recorder, which is not what I wanted, but that's actually not what makes it interesting. You see, it's about the size of a credit card. It's actually crazy. It snaps onto the back of my iPhone with MagSafe, and I can also throw it in my wallet if I want to do so. Over the last few days, I've been like carrying it everywhere. Meetings, conversations, random ideas. Instead of stopping to write everything down, I can just let this capture. But here's where everything ends up, okay? It connects my recordings with Gmail, Notion, Calendar, documents, and the projects I'm already working on. So instead of wondering, was that in Notion? Did Jan send me that? Or was that from a meeting? I just ask it. It's actually crazy. It's able to find everything. Then I can also even ask Super Agent to draft, I don't know, the follow-up email or maybe summarize the meeting for me. Honestly, it doesn't just organize my notes, it remembers the relationships between everything I do. If your brain works anything like mine, guys, you should check out Genspark SecondBrain Note. It packs 35 hours of battery, it's got 4 mics and captures crystal clear audio from up to 5 meters away. It's $179 instead of $199 right now, so I'll leave a link to it down below. Okay, issues. We love the issues because this phone, well, there are quite a few, believe it or not. Price is one. I mean, it's not the cheapest. It starts at $18.99. US, by the way, for the 256 gigabyte model. To me, I mean, this is personally, but I feel like it should start at that price, fine, but at least bump it up to 512 gigabytes. And I tell you why, okay? As an S26 Ultra user, guys, you will not believe the amount of garbage you will download, apps, media, games. Like, you'll be so obsessed with your phone, I promise you, and you'll want to download everything and anything. Trust me, especially if you want to start downloading a bunch of ROMs, filming log, taking raw photography and then like editing it on Lightroom. You didn't just spend all that money for no reason, right? And then comes the hinge, okay? So the hinge, I thought at first it was acting up on me, okay? I mentioned it already, but I thought my hinge was weird. The minute I wanted to put this phone at like a 90 degrees angle, it didn't work. It just like snapped back into full screen mode. Well, it turns out that this is a feature, so there's no more flex mode. However, I've noticed throughout the days that the hinge doesn't snap as much as it used to, because look, check this out. I can just, oh, never mind. Never mind. You see, I was able to put this at 90 degrees before and it would stay like super nicely, and now it just won't stay. But of course, the minute I want to film it for you guys, it doesn't do it. But you can do the 10th mode. So say you are like consuming content and you wanted to consume content like this before, what you can do is, let me just put a quick video. This is the 10th mode. Yeah.
Holds hundreds of billions of dollars in US bonds.
Different apps, there's different behaviors, right? It's something you're gonna have to get used to it, especially if you're coming from iOS. For example, okay, YouTube iOS having autoplay and YouTube Android not having autoplay within the timeline. Bugs, I've lived quite a few throughout the past like week and a half. Facebook scrolling, my God, does it lag from time to time? Like, it heavily lags. Yup. Going from an app to the home screen makes a few icons disappear for a moment. This happens sometimes. The IG UI tends to lag hard, okay, within the main screen. It really is weird. You kind of have to like reset it. I've also had moments where the main screen just freezes completely on me, and then I have to like open the phone. I have to close the phone and reopen it. So yeah, split screen can lag on the main screen. It can become quite a bit funky. Consuming short form on IG is not like the most usable thing ever on the main screen. Like, the timeline can lag and reset the video. It's kind of weird to manipulate. I'm not a fan. So you guys will notice that with the days, as this phone comes out to the entire world, apps like Instagram are going to perfect their Android versions, I guess, if you want to call it. As you can see now, my reels are full screen. That was not happening before, so that's pretty cool. Now the stories, let me take a look. They're still not full screen. See? Oh no, now they are full screen. But I posted this story yesterday and it wasn't full screen, and now again, just please keep in mind that I'm just reporting my experience based on the amount of time I've been like using this phone. So take this with a grain of salt. Things are gonna change, and hopefully for the better. The entire flow of apps just doesn't feel totally the smoothest. Like, going from an app to another can be jerky, especially when you're in power savings mode, for sure, which doesn't happen on my S26 Ultra. Now, for the most part, on the Fold, you'll gain more room horizontally. You'll lose a lot more vertically, about 20%, which is fine, but you'll notice how things might feel a little bit more crammed, and spacing around UI elements is totally different, okay? I'm talking about the cover screen. There is, I would say, this adjustment period where you really have to get used to the cover screen, in my opinion, especially when coming from iOS, where everything is also like super fluid. Really, I feel like iOS just tends to have a bit more of a smooth progression within their animations and like items. One UI, well, it all depends on your settings, but that fluidity feels like very snappy. So it's funny because when the main screen is open, you'll notice how like some apps don't entirely span the screen, and then it makes you wonder, wait a minute, is this app just not compatible with the Fold? And then you start playing with it, and then you realize that, oh wait, there's a whole option that allows you to expand this app horizontally, vertically, move it from side to side. And for the longest time, I thought these apps were just not compatible, but by accident I found out that, well, they indeed are. Sorry guys, I've been playing with this phone so much, but I realized last night that Facebook is one of those apps that just doesn't auto rotate. Whether you have the auto lock rotate on or off, it just won't rotate. The only way for it to rotate is by clicking that little icon I showed you before, and that's where you can display it horizontally or vertically. So there are apps that just don't auto rotate. And ironically, not every single video, movie, TV show you will consume will fit that entire 4:3 aspect ratio. No. Yes, you will have black bars, but at the end of the day, you're still getting a much bigger picture on screen. So that's awesome. Also, there's no S Pen, okay? There's no way to put an S Pen in here. However, I would love for Samsung to find a way to just insert an S Pen within the unboxing of this phone, maybe with a case that comes with the phone to put the S Pen in the back, because at the end of the day, guys, this is a screen that deserves to have an S Pen. That's just what I think. Like, come on, this is just great. And no, do not try to take your S26 Ultra S Pen for this. The Fold 8 inner display is designed for foldable specific S Pens with like a softer spring-loaded tip that applies pressure more safely to the flexible display. And this, guys, this drives me nuts. This drives me insane because a lot of times I'm like on my phone like this and I'm like texting, and just like, you know, I'm texting right now. Yes, I'm doing good, you know, and it's just, yeah. If this is something that actually drives you crazy, guys, I recommend to find a case that eliminates that. However, a case on this phone, I find it defeats the entire purpose of it. I don't know, I just love this form factor.
Two things that I think are worth mentioning with screen brightness. I know it's pretty hard to see because right now the sun is hitting really hard, but look at the difference between the Fold 8, okay, look at this, and the iPhone. Check this out. It is insane how iPhone is able to really output decent brightness outside. Like, I can clearly see my phone. And note that the Fold 8 had that extra brightness setting also enabled.
Now, battery life, another elephant in the room, because I think I'm actually pretty sure that this phone is still trying to get used to my workflow, because the battery life sadly hasn't been the best. And I will sort of say this, take this with a grain of salt, but I think in my experience, this has been the worst battery life post-unboxing test I've experienced. I will show you, okay, look. So I started with a 100% charge at 3:13 p.m. The other day. I haven't done anything out of the ordinary within my day-to-day routine, okay? Sort of, but I'll get to it in a bit. But look, I text people, I used Slack to communicate plans for our new office, I watched some short form, especially Rillos, so I could install a GBA mod. Successfully done, by the way. I did some banking, used it with Android Auto. I think the most I did that was like power hungry, I guess, was some Lightroom stuff, whether I was airdropping a couple of pics, using Tailscale to connect to my server at home to show Jan through a video, like just general use, right? With some social media. That's what I was doing that day. These are the types of things I do with my phone. However, I did play Pokemon for like an hour the night before, which I never do. From 9:40 p.m. to like 10:40 p.m., my phone went from 52% to 34%, which is something I usually never do. I feel like I could have gotten about 18 hours of juice. But I did find it strange how battery life dissipation at night was not good at all. I went to bed immediately after playing and I closed the app. And it went from like 30-ish% to about 21% when I woke up at 7 a.m. I also did a 10% battery life in power saving mode test that morning. It lasted almost like 2 hours. Mind you, I was trying not to be on my phone too much. I was using it to like open my locks, taking a look at my gallery, using local send, texting. But yeah, for me, battery life has been lasting from 15 to like 18 hours. Anyways, I feel like it's clear that the Z Fold, it's still getting used to my workflow, okay? I feel like it's still indexing a bunch of stuff in the background and whatnot. Heat. Oh wow, does this thing love? It loves heat, it really does. It heats up quite a lot, mainly when I'm connected to Android Auto and doing stuff with it.
It's actually really hot to the touch. I don't have my infrared camera with me, but yeah, it's really hot.
But yeah, I mean, it gets toasty quite a bit. But you know what's interesting is that while playing Pokemon, the toastiness is not as present.
So check this out, okay? I've been running Pokemon for quite a bit, and this is the hottest it'll get. Like max 34.6, 7, around that. Everywhere across the phone. Let me turn it around for you guys. Back is a bit different. This is where it usually gets really, really hot. Right now it's at 43, yeah, 43 point something. It's not that bad though. It doesn't feel as hot. Like not compared to when I had this connected to Android Auto and texting and stuff. That was really, really hot.
To be continued. The one thing I don't want to touch too much on, okay, are the cameras, and that is because I do think this phone is very capable and I do want to do it justice by maybe making a dedicated video or comparing this to the iPhone Fold when that comes out. But ever since I got back from London, I haven't been using them too much, other than using them to show people stuff through messages, really. But I am very, very pleased with how the photos turned out during my trip. I will leave a collage here for you guys to take a look at because it's super interesting. These are edited with our presets and they truly look fantastic. I'll leave a link to our presets down below. The same thing I will say about Log. Log looks fantastic, but for the past week, like I said, I haven't been doing much with the cameras, really. All you need to know though is that as a Fold 7 user, I bought a Fold, I used it for quite a bit. I feel like the cameras are way-ish better. Look, overall usability, phone is maybe a tad wider than an S26 Ultra. It actually feels like they chopped the S26 Ultra in 3/4. Using it one-handed though can be rough. Yeah, it can be rough. I have like my fingerprint scanner set to the middle finger on my left hand like that. Every time I take it, I can unlock it, but I suggest the One Hand Operation Plus app to make things easier. Speakers are also plenty loud. I'm happy with them. I use them in the shower all the time. It's good.
Overseas to get some of that interest. And in the process, Japan became the world's biggest foreign holder of US government debt.
And that's all I have to say in terms of communicating all my feedback based on my experience with this phone for the past week and a half. I will be making a comparison video with the iPhone Fold when that comes out. I'm going to be rocking this until the iPhone Fold comes out. My SIM's already on it. I'm all good. I'm happy. So yeah, there's a lot of tests that I still have to get to.